Rousing welcome for triumphant Paralympians. Penampang MP quits PKR. I'm Desiree Gasper and this is Cuppa News. Hashtag Selamat Pulang Wira and Kami Luar Biasa are trending on social media following the much-awaited return of our Paralympians from Rio. No one expected them to, and yet they beat all odds and created history, bringing home the much-sought-after 3 gold medals and a bronze from the recently concluded Rio Paralympics. In tribute, Malaysians got together to accord them the hero's welcome they so deserve. Huge smiles were etched on the faces of the para-athletes as they stepped into KLIA's Bunga Raya complex where the waiting fans had assembled. The Paralympians later boarded an open-top bus to Kuala Lumpur where they were swarmed by fans and supporters at KLCC and at the Pavilion Shopping Mall. The parade finally ended at Pusat Kecemerlangan Sukan Paralimpik in Kampung Pandan for the grand welcoming ceremony. You can watch a longer video of the hero's welcome on thestartv.com. Switching gears now, after 7 harrowing hours, all is good and well for the family of a Form 3 student who was abducted right outside her home in Bandar Tun Hussein on this morning. It was reported that the girl was waiting for her school van at 7 a.m. when 2 men on a motorcycle rode by and forced her onto the vehicle. A family friend sent out a message on the abduction which went viral. The student was back in the family fold at 2:30 p.m. after a passerby spotted her walking alone near a supermarket. Police are investigating the case. A new political landscape is taking shape. Penampang MP Darryl Laking has quit PKR to join former UMNO VP Datuk Shafi Abdal's new Sabah-based party. Laking was with Shafi at the ROS to discuss the taking over of the Sabah party that was registered in 2013. With them was Sulabayan Assemblyman Datuk Jaujan Sambakang, who has quit UMNO. The party will serve as a platform to challenge BN in GE14.
Adakah parti ini akan bersama dengan Pribumi?
Kita akan lihat. Ya memang kita tujuan dia, matlamat dia sama aja, kita nak menang. Ya, saya ingat Pribumi dia nak menang, kita nak pastikan supaya ada perubahan kerajaan. So we have the same kind of
So basically it's a party against Barisan Nasional.
Oh yeah, I mean
In another blow to PKR in Sabah, Mayuk Assemblyman Terence Siambun is expected to follow Laking's decision to quit the party. It's believed that the first-term assemblyman has already submitted his resignation. It will be more expensive to fly next year. The new passenger service charge or airport tax will be implemented on January 1st. Transport Minister Datuk Sri Liao Tiong Lai said the Malaysian Aviation Commission will make the announcement.
We will bring it to the Cabinet for final decision.
Was it discussed yesterday?
We discussed, but I think the details will be announced by MAVCOM. After the increase is still moderate.
The Sun Daily, quoting aviation sources, said the new increased PSC charges would be 11 ringgit for domestic flights, 35 ringgit for flights to ASEAN countries and 73 ringgit for international flights. Meanwhile, on the report by the Joint Investigation Team into the downing of flight MH17, Liao hopes the perpetrators would be identified.
We would like to bring this perpetrator to court. That's why Malaysia, working together with 4 other countries, coming up with proposal either to bring this perpetrator to the international court or to the national court.
The report will be released on September 28th. 3 foreigners and a local have been detained for their alleged involvement in multiple terrorist groups, including the Islamic State. Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Khalid Abu Bakar, in a statement, said that the suspects include a Bangladeshi restaurant owner who allegedly smuggled weapons for an international terror group and had a red notice issued by Interpol against him. The second suspect, a 38-year-old Nepalese who managed an entertainment outlet, was arrested under the suspicion of falsifying documents for use by members of international terror groups. The other suspects, a 26-year-old Moroccan man who worked as a welder and a 34-year-old local man, were IS operatives in Malaysia with ties to Muhammad Wandi Muhammad Jadi. Turkish authorities arrested the Moroccan previously for trying to enter Syria. The local man is suspected of promoting IS propaganda and ideologies through his Facebook account. He worked as a driver for a businessman. 8 men have been arrested in connection to the murder of M. Murray and her daughter C. Durga Devi, who were found with multiple slash wounds at a house in Taman Puteri Wangsa, Johor Bahru on Wednesday. State Police Chief Commissioner Datuk Wan Ahmad Najmuddin Muhammad said 2 of the suspects were detained while trying to flee to Kuala Lumpur on an express bus along the North-South Expressway near Pagoh, while another 5 were arrested in Pelangi Indah on Wednesday. The last suspect was picked up on Thursday. Several items belonging to the victims were seized from 2 of the suspects. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission, or MACC, is looking for 4 key members relating to a syndicate specialising in cloning expired Singapore luxury cars. Its Intelligence Division Director, Datuk Sri Ahmad Kusairi Yahya, said they had identified the suspects, 2 of whom were civil servants following the arrest of 4 people on Tuesday. The 4 include a Road Transport Department Administration Assistant and her husband in Kedah, a used car dealer in Pahang, and an online businessman in Kuala Lumpur. MACC has so far identified 67 vehicles sold by the syndicate, including BMWs, Hondas, Toyotas, Mini Coopers, Mitsubishi Grandes, worth more than 6.7 million ringgit in total. Ahmad Kusairi also urged owners who have been identified to surrender their cars to the MACC within a week or face stern action. The 33-year-old obese man who had been aided by firemen to the hospital on Thursday is still in critical condition. Sia Chi Heng's mother, Ko, when met at her home, said he was currently admitted at the intensive care unit at the hospital in Cebu and doctors were still trying to determine what went wrong. She said Sia only started developing weight problems 2 years ago after he injured his right heel while working in a timber camp in Miri. She said his weight ballooned from 100 kilograms to 250 kilograms and he eventually had to move around with the help of a tetrapod.
Never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut.
That was Robert De Niro's iconic line in the Scorsese movie Goodfellas. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the Oscar-winning actor is the latest high-profile name to be connected with the ongoing investigations linked to 1MDB. THR, in an article on its website, reported that De Niro's name appeared several times in connection with central figures in the US Department of Justice civil suit to recover up to $1 billion in 1MDB-linked funds and assets. The Hollywood A-lister was quoted as saying he does not care that his name is being dragged into the global financial scandal. THR also revealed that De Niro's son, Rafael De Niro, was the listing agent representing the sellers for 2 New York multi-million-dollar properties purchased by tycoon Joe Low. In the US, the governor of North Carolina has issued a state of emergency in the city of Charlotte as unrest over a police shooting continues. 1 person was gravely injured on the second night of protests against the fatal police shooting of 43-year-old Keith Lamont Scott on Wednesday, who officers said had refused orders to drop a handgun. Trouble sparked when a peaceful rally by hundreds of demonstrators, angered by Scott's death, turned violent following gunfire. While officials maintained that Scott was shot for ignoring orders, his family and a witness said he was only holding a book and not a weapon. A Chinese court has sentenced human rights lawyer Xia Lin, known for defending activists and others in sensitive cases, to 12 years jail on fraud charges. The lawyer was sentenced by Beijing No. 2 Intermediate Court nearly 2 years after being detained.
我们是做的无罪辩护嘛，所以说我们认为这种做法是这种判决当然是违背我们的想法的。 我们打算已经决定上诉了，
His sentencing follows numerous cases and trials depicting the ruling Communist Party's determination to silence independent human rights activists and government critics. So, who came in between Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt? Apparently, it's Robert Pattinson. Well, at least that's the case at London's Madame Tussauds Museum. The museum separated the figure replicas of Jolie and Pitt following the power couple's shocking split announcement on Wednesday and placed Pattinson in between.
Yeah, I love them. I initially posed with Angelina and now I came with Brad. So yes, it's a bit shocking, but yes, I love them.
Actually, it was a relief because I like Brad Pitt, so if they are apart, that means that I have a chance, right?
A spokesperson from the museum said the couple's wax figures were launched in 2013 and following their separation, the replicas are now a respectful distance from each other. Avengers director Joss Whedon got a long line of celebrities to speak up in a video urging Americans to vote. And if you read between the lines, to not vote for Trump. The video is the first of 25 videos which will be released under the Save the Day campaign leading to November 8th. This is when America will decide if it's Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton who will lead them.
Do we really want to give nuclear weapons to a man whose signature move is firing?
Firing things?
But we can end this nightmare before it begins.
The bevy of celebrities also promised that if the votes swung in the right direction, voters would get to see Mark Ruffalo in the buff. We leave you with a thought today. Life is short. Just ask this airplane pilot who almost lost his head during an air race in the US. Good night.